My husband was actually beside me, bleeding from his ear. We needed an ambulance to come and pick him up, but nothing, okay, nothing came up. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, IAmCleopatra O, and I'm back here with another video. So if you've seen from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing my very first story time, because I just thought about it that I actually had a vlog, guys, that I vlogged like, what, 2 years ago, that never came up on this channel. Why? Because during this vacation, I got so pissed off. If you're interested to know what this story is about, please just continue watching. So yeah, guys, as I said before, I actually vlogged a trip that I and my husband took to Poland, right? And I was so hyped about that trip because it was a surprise. So it was basically my Christmas gift. So I remember on the 25th or on the 26th, I don't remember, we were at my mom's house, and I don't know if I still have, I'm going to see if I still have the video of my reaction when I actually opened that gift. So when I opened the gift, it was actually an electronic ticket. And you have to see me, I was just looking at it, I was like, what's this? And my husband goes like, it's a flight ticket. And I'm just like, flight ticket to where? And it was like, we're going to Poland. And I was like, oh my god, we're going to Poland. Because guys, like literally every Swede has been to Poland, especially Gdansk. Like if you're Swedish and you're watching this video, I know that you will just be like, oh yeah, true, Gdansk is. So I was very hyped. I was like, oh my god, we're going to the Gdansk, blah 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 blah. And it was basically like, I remember it was on the 25th, yeah, on Christmas Day, yeah. And then we're meant to travel like, I think it was even my mom's birthday we were meant to travel. So it was like 2 days after, or like 3 days after. Sorry guys. So yeah, so I was really like very hyped and everything, and then we go, and already from at the airport was still okay. We actually met someone that could speak English that actually told us how to get to our Airbnb apartment, right? And then we took an Uber. This Uber driver comes, he doesn't know how to speak English. I was just like, okay, fine, at least thank God to Uber, you can already just put like where you're going to and it's going to be fine. But I was just like, you know what, that's going to be the only person that doesn't understand English. What were you thinking, babes? You're in Poland. Anyways, I didn't do any research about the country or the city or anything. I was just like, you know what, I'm just going there, going to see how things are, and that's it. So we arrive, and I actually planned what we're going to do in Gdansk when I actually got to our apartment, because I never knew we were coming to Gdansk, and I'm usually the planner, what's it called, in the relationship. So but something happened. My husband started complaining of ear pain, and I was just like, okay, fine, you can take some painkillers and that's going to go right. Because personally, I've never had ear pain, so I actually don't even know what one is meant to do when someone has, pains in your ear. And he now started saying that he has actually had pain in his ear, but that was like way back, like when he was back in Nigeria. I think he was like in his secondary school. I don't really remember. So I was just really contemplating that, what could it be, right? Because really, I'm not really good when it comes to such things. So I was just like, okay, fine, just take some painkillers. So I think we went out and we were looking for painkillers, and then he took them, but still, it wasn't getting any better. However, I felt like he didn't really want to spoil the mood of the whole trip. So he was still like battling with the pain, but at the same time, he was still enduring it, so we could still go out and basically do what we came there to do, have fun. On a fateful night, we were trying to sleep. My husband could not sleep. I remember, I think my husband woke me up around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the night, complaining seriously about the fact that he was having pain. Now, the worst part, we actually discovered that he was bleeding from his ear, guys. At that moment, I got so scared. I was like, okay, this is not funny anymore. This is this is not a matter of, give me painkillers. I mean, you're actually bleeding from your ear. And it's not like if we have done anything, like say he scratched himself or anything. So that means that all his pain that he has actually been complaining about has actually led to something. So at that moment, I was like, you know what? We actually have to call 119 or 911 or whatever it is. But the thing is, guy, you're in Poland. We did not even know what the emergency number or anything is. And I don't even know if I actually tried calling 112. Yeah, I think I was there contemplating if I should call 112, because I think in Sweden we call 112, right? Or that's the police, I don't remember. But at least we should just call something that is an emergency number, right? Or call 118. But I was like, no, 118 is just Italy, I think. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just check Google. Guys, I went on Google and checked to see emergency number in Poland, and nothing came up. And I was like, nah, these people must be kidding with me. Nothing came up, guys. My husband was actually beside me, bleeding from his ear. We needed an ambulance to come and pick him up, but nothing, okay, nothing came up. I was like, this must be a joke, guys. Like, where are the cameras, right? Guys, after 1 hour 30 minutes, we have not found the correct number to call. And I think I just found something online, but it was like a long number, and it wasn't even a short number. I called, and I remember this thing speaking Polish all through the phone call, and then it wasn't taking me further, right? Normally, like, when you just allow the thing to just speak, you can just wait, and then you would hear, what's it called? You would just basically come to somebody, that you could speak to. So I was like, okay, then I can speak to somebody in English. Guys, that thing spoke all through, and because I did not press anything, it just dropped off. I was like, okay, I'm going to just, click any digit. And then I think I clicked one digit, and then it actually came to somebody. The person was only speaking Polish, and she could not speak English. So the girl just cut the phone on me. And I was like, no, this must be a joke. At that point, we just had to come up with something. My husband literally just had to survive the night to the next day, and then we had to locate the nearest hospital to then go to the hospital. So the next day, we went to the hospital, or at least we tried to locate the hospital. We stopped about 3 people on the streets because we could not find the hospital, and no one wanted to help us because we were blacks. Not because we were blacks, because of our skin color, but because they knew that they had to speak English to us. And they would just come and they'd be like, we don't know how to speak English, we don't know how to speak English. They literally just do like this and then walk away. And I was like, oh my God. At that moment, I was literally getting fed up of the city. Really, I was just like, are you serious? From the taxi driver to some people at the store to now people on the streets, like random people on the streets. Are you guys serious? And the thing is that, to be said, maybe I was just angry because I had an emergency at hand, and it felt like the whole society was not helping matters, right? But yeah, we got to the hospital and we did everything we had to do. We're just waiting for basically doctors to come and attend to my husband. But there was one thing I noticed, right? I remember we're in the emergency department, right? And please remember that this is not COVID period. There was no COVID then. I remember that the department was filled up, right? And there were actually just 2 seats close to me and my husband. And people as old as 60 came, okay? And no one, I repeat, no one wanted to sit close to us. Now, don't tell me I was trying to invent things. Nobody wanted to sit close to us, because I remember that it got to a point where I got a bit fed up of sitting down, because we were so frustrated to the extent that I personally was angry, because just to find the hospital, both our batteries went down. So basically we didn't even know how we were going to get home that day, basically after leaving, if we're even going to leave the hospital that day, right? I remember I stood up, and that is when someone came to sit down, and she sat down just because it was still one space in between she and my husband. So she didn't have to sit down. And trust me, there was this huge look on us, like, because we're the only black people in the emergency there, and they were just looking at us like, what are these people doing here? Why do we have, you know, understand? It was like very, very bad. Like, I felt very, very bad vibe and everything, guys. But yeah, that aside, we were still waiting. And it was annoying. I was just like, I mean, because I know that they usually check and see and take people according to, you know, how important their situation is. And I mean, my husband was bleeding from his ear. You don't even, and the thing is that he could not also hear from that part. So we don't even know if his eardrum was actually healthy, if something had happened to his eardrums or not. But the only thing we know is that he's bleeding and he cannot hear from that side of his ear. So I was just like, are these people really going to make us wait till tomorrow again? So I was just like, okay, you know what? Just be calm. This is not your country, so you can't actually just stand up and start talking, right? But yeah, after waiting for a while, I noticed that the people that came like after us, that didn't even have serious matters, were going in first. And I was just like, why? Like, why? So I just told my husband, I was like, you know what, the next time, because it was the same doctor that came out, I was like, the next time this doctor comes out, I'm going to ask her that what is going on, that my husband is here bleeding and he has not gotten any treatment. So that's what I did. I waited, she came out, and I approached her, and I was like, I've been waiting for a long time, my husband has not gotten help. And then he looked at us and was like, I don't remember if she said, people like you are not my priority, or she was like, you guys are not my priority. And then she looked at the other people and then was like trying to choose who she was going to take in. And I was like, you must be kidding. This is racism at its, like, I don't know, 100,000, 10,000%. Like, my husband was there bleeding, could not hear, and you were looking at me telling me you guys are not my priority. I was like, no. It was, no. Guys, my husband, I think, had to get his way in. Like, you know, basically, normally in the emergency door, there's an emergency door that if the doctor doesn't come and pick you, there's no way you can actually get in, right? So I think someone was trying to come out, and my husband was able to just sneak in. And I think he was able to speak to someone where he now explained what was wrong with him, and then they took him directly. Because obviously, someone that cannot hear and he's bleeding, definitely there's something important, there's something wrong and something that has to be checked on, right? And apparently it was actually something very, very important. I don't remember, it was like, I don't even remember what it was, but I remember it was like something with the earwax as well. And that is when I realized that this cotton stuff that we usually use for our ears, guys, is so bad. Instead of taking away your dirt, you're actually just pushing in your dirt to your eardrums, guys, and it gets stuck there and it stays like this. Like, I remember that they basically had to do, I used to call it mini surgery because that's what the doctor called him. They had to basically do like a mini surgery to take out all the stuff that he had basically pushed in to the eardrums, because now it was like the eardrums were here and all the earwax that he has been pushing in were like tied to it, guys. It was so painful to watch. I literally watched everything on the microscope. It was so painful to watch. Like, I felt so bad at that moment because I never knew that was what my husband was going through. The doctor was saying that this was very serious. It took him like, I think we're there doing that for like 3 hours, and they couldn't do it all at once. They had to do it, stop, take a break, and then continue, and then take a break, because it was like that the pain is not easy. And the thing is that it was coming out with flesh. Like, guys, I'm not even gonna go in with details, but the whole issue here is that we were really badly treated just because of where we come from, or just because of the color of our skin, which is incredible, which is heartless, especially when it comes to health, because I think all doctors are actually meant to take an oath. So what happened to your own oath? Or is it that different countries has different oaths? No, but really, like, sorry guys, I really had to come here and share it, because I felt like it was my husband, but it could be someone else that I know that is actually, that such thing can happen to. And maybe this is also a lesson for me, that I should actually investigate or check countries before one just travels to them. Not because I say one shouldn't just travel to countries, but just look at how the situation things are. Look at the health system as well. You are going there for vacation, but God forbid something might happen to you. How do they handle it? Will you be safe, or would they just tell you know what, you have to go back to your country and then get your health care there? Because that's literally how he felt. But he couldn't have survived, all the pressure from the aircraft with such a pain, right? So we actually had to get it done there before leaving. But yeah, that's my story, guys. Like, it's so painful. Anytime I think about it, it's so really painful, because sometimes I used to think that what would have happened to my husband if we had waited a little longer, if we hadn't been stubborn, to actually get him to get help. Sorry guys, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and and I hope that you guys have learned something. And obviously this is not to generalize that everyone in Poland is like that, but I'll just say, just be careful of where you go to, and always try to research about the country, because you wouldn't want to be in a situation whereby you will not get help, and God forbid something will happen to you, right? So yeah, but thank you so much for watching this video thus far, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give me a like, and most especially, don't forget to subscribe now. But thank you so much, guys. Love you.